April 14th, 1912, 11:40 p.m. The RMS Titanic struck an iceberg during her maiden voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Less than 3 hours later, in the early hours of April 15th, the unsinkable ship and pride of the White Star Line was gone. Carrying over 2,200 passengers and crew, more than 1,500 lost their lives, with 706 surviving. Within days, White Star Line dispatched Canadian vessels to search for bodies. The first vessels were the Halifax-based cable ships Mackay-Bennett and Minia, which recovered 306 and 17 victims. In all, 150 unclaimed victims were laid to rest in Halifax, Nova Scotia, forever linking the city to this tragic disaster. Fairview Lawn Cemetery, and it's linked to the Titanic. So some of the victims are buried here in this cemetery. And we're going to go in and have a look around. So we'll just walk in here, down to the grave sites. So yeah, everybody knows about the Titanic, but not everybody might know about the Halifax connection to the Titanic. But there was boats sent out for the recovery effort. And yeah, they ended up recovering bodies, bringing them back here. And some of them are buried here. And there's some buried in 2 other cemeteries around the city. But the majority of them are here. Here's a nice little write-up of the history. Halifax and RMS Titanic. Here in Halifax lie the remains of 150 victims of one of history's most tragic maritime disasters. Just before midnight on April 14th, 1912, the White Star liner RMS Titanic struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic. The majestic ship sank in less than 3 hours with the loss of close to 1,500 lives. In the aftermath of the sinking, White Star chartered 3 ships from Halifax and 1 from St. John's to search for the dead. Of the 328 recovered, many were buried at sea. The remaining bodies were returned to Halifax, where some were claimed by their families, and the rest interred at the Fairview Lawn, Mount Olivet, and Baron de Hirsch cemeteries. So here it is. Here's the section for the Titanic victims. It's a nice little walk around. Yeah, so this is the one. I've heard of this. So it was an unknown child that was buried here. But if you look down here in later years, I forget when, but they did actually end up finding out who it was. Sidney Leslie Goodwin. Yeah, for the longest time, this was the unknown child. Yeah, it's a nice spot that they have here. Dedicated to the victims. It's definitely worth checking out and learning a little bit about the history with Halifax and the Titanic that a lot of people might not know about. So hope you guys found this interesting, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See you later.